That was funny. Is it? Oh yeah. Just it, yeah. Tim, do you want to go? Well, we're on. Welcome to the Racecourse Ground, the post-match podcast here on YouTube. We live stream, and you have not been visited by the ghosts of Christmas past, by the way. That is just the huge glare that we've got on the floodlights here. So, in terms of Wrexham tonight, James, Wrexham 1, Harrogate 1, Bobby Grant's goal cancelled out with 10 minutes to go. It looked like the turning point today was the penalty miss, but in terms of the game as a whole, not a bad point for Wrexham.
Yeah, not a bad point for Wrexham. I think I was impressed with how we performed overall. I think that as a team, we look to be playing together as a unit, one unit across the whole pitch. The fluidity was good between defence, midfield, attack, and back. We protected our goal on the whole well. It was a little bit sloppy for the one we conceded in the end, but I think Wrexham deserved the 3 points. Really, it's a good start. There was passion amongst the players. You expect to bounce upwards of performance when you get a new manager, because obviously the players want to impress. But I think overall, I think it's unfortunate. It's good to be disappointed that it's a draw, because obviously that shows what I think of the performance. But I think it was a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I mean, we touched on the start. I don't think we were expecting to see such a free-flowing, aspiring start from Wrexham.
No, I mean, the Diamond, we sort of expected it, almost joked that it would suit this squad, I think, because we don't perhaps have the wide players that stay wide to really support that. But I think, we did well. And we came out the blocks firing. I think that front three, Rutherford particularly lively in that number 10 sort of position on the tip, I call it, and Grant and Oswald linked up well, and you can see that's how the goal was started. All three players involved, and it looked good.
Yeah, those three players, they all game, they were linking up really well. Rutherford coming in and playing that role. We've seen him play in different areas of the diamond before now, haven't we? But in terms of that seems where he's so much more effective.
It is. We know he's got fantastic energy. We know he's got a great engine. He goes the full 90 minutes back into, and I know he gets a bit maligned at times by some quarters of the fan, some parts of the fan base. But he made almost himself look like two players at times, because he's back into left hand side, right hand side, through the middle, defensively tracking back. He allows that energy and flow to continue throughout the team. And I think it was evident today. He's part of it. I wasn't surprised he was starting. I expected that Dean Keats would go with the leaders in the dressing room and the players that he knew from his previous time. Because let's face it, he'd only had one training session. He's possibly seen games. There was rumours with Solihull, which I believe are true, and he's certainly played to a couple of games earlier in the season here, just observing more than anything, before this game up. So he'll have an impression on some players, but I suppose what you see in a training session, and that's going to develop over the next few days, weeks, months.
Yeah, it is, and like I say, that the one training session, they've obviously worked on it. They've changed the shape. It's a bold move to make, isn't it? You can speak to players. Dean Keats will have known what systems that they have previously played, but to change that straight away, that shows the faith from the players as well that they've got in the manager, that they've trusted him immediately.
Oh yeah, I mean, fortunate I suppose. As Dean said, I mentioned it in commentary, he mentioned it in his his interview or unveiling. He's got bridges to build, but it starts with what's on the football pitch. And he's fortunate in a way that there are 7 members. I think we got 2 when we counted it that he brought in or had previously worked with. I think 6 he brought in, and Rutherford was, it's 5, and then Carrington and Rutherford were already here. So they will no doubt be talking amongst each other and saying, this is what Dean brings, this is what you. So that will help the transition into it. He's taken over a similar position before. He's looked at the squad and potentially a lot more talent than he did at last time at this position. And I think the squad lends itself to this time, whether that's the way forward. What I will say about Dean, I think that was a more attacking diamond formation than I've seen previously, where obviously he tended to go a lot more defensively. But there were certainly more chances created tonight, and perhaps that's picked up from his experiences in management since leaving the racecourse.
Yeah, a couple of comments from you guys. Keep them coming in. Correction FC Jan says unlucky draw, but it happens. Nugget 123 says that was all right first game. Danny Dyer, if you're the Danny Dyer, I'm very impressed. Come on, Dean, let's get them going. Welcome back. We will forgive you if you get us up there. From those who perhaps weren't too pleased with the appointment, I think that's one of the main talking points, isn't it? If he gets us going, hit the ground running as well, I think a lot will be forgiven.
Yeah, take anything away from off the football pitch. If results are right on the football pitch and the points come, then the fans are going to be, they're going to be happy. They like it. Everyone likes to win. It doesn't matter what team you support. When the results are difficult, it's difficult to almost give your full attention to it. And when the results are right and you're challenging it, but there is time. And it's a cliche, but I know we're a third way through the season, so there's not as much time as you think considering in October. But there are times, if we can get, I think Dean, did he get on a 10-game winning streak last time he was here? We do that, 30 points, and results go, very strange ways, and which is more than possible in this league. You never know where you're going to be, and you can turn the corner in January and you push on. You see it so many times in football that there's one team that goes on that run, gets into the playoffs late, but they're in form and therefore they progress. Why can't we be that team? Why can't we be the team that challenges up there? Let's face it, the fans just want to see some winning football, and that's what we deserve to see some winning football. We deserve to be up there. I think we all know there's talent in the squad. We look at the squad was built on last year. You can argue some of the players went out and have been replaced on paper, but better, but perhaps in so far in performances haven't. So it's one of those ones that's going to be interesting. The Dean's got the job to, have a look at the squad, decide who he wants, who he doesn't perhaps want, or who he identifies as being players that could possibly bring in. I've seen the comments on there already, one name being mentioned, and Dean, whatever you think about him, in his last spell and this spell, he knows what he wants, and he's a man that gets it.
He is. Looking at the rest of these comments, Simon Cook said, if that Rav ever gets a game again, I'll be amazed. 100%. He'll be more amazed when he gets promoted to League 2 next season. Danny Dyer says, only if we could bring in Andy Cook. And again, these names are going to be thrown around. New managers come in. That's the sort of thing we're going to see coming up. And says, we lead him as a goal machine. Well, to be fair with Wrexham, they've got JJ Cooper, who was really hit the ground running. Then you've got the likes of Jason Oswell, Bobby Grant, right, missed a penalty, but he got a 6th goal this season. and other players around him. So there are the attacking options that Dean Keats didn't have last time. And so look, Tardoud says sounded a lot better tonight. It certainly well. We played well at Woking actually.
Yeah, we played well Woking until Carrington's injury, and we played well tonight until the penalty miss, and that possibly gave Harrogate a boost, and they gave us a little bit of a push then at that point. Again, another football cliche, but when you're on top, that's when you got scoring. Harrogate had their best period of the match, and they did just that.
Yeah, it was a decent night tonight. I can see us finishing mid-table, says it's Ben. My theory is that I feel that Dean Keats will come in and do well. That's one of the reasons I'm pleased that we brought him back in. I also feel that there's still a lot of points left to play. This is the sort of mad season where Wrexham will finish 7th and get promoted. That's my genuine thoughts are. I really do think Wrexham, that top 7 isn't unreachable. If it was a top 5 still, perhaps. But being a top 7, I think that gives us certainly scope if we can build up momentum.
Give you those extra couple of places that weren't there before. So yeah, it's always possible. And yeah, Wrexham have tried every other way of getting promoted, so why not try the scrambling around and scrapping for 7th and being that team? Whatever happens, we need to get results right on the pitch first. We need to put some performances before we can even start talking about any of this, I suppose, to a certain extent. But the positives from tonight is that was a team performance. As I expect, and I think as everyone really expects, the players put shift in for the new manager, because they want, it's their job as well. They want to be playing football. They want to be playing 90 minutes. Don't they? It's an opportunity for those that didn't get a look in to possibly get a look in, and those that we're having a look in to prove why they were doing so in the first place. So I think overall, it's what I expected. It's nice to have the UEFA Cup coming up on Saturday. Dean will have a break away from the league games, which it's almost like a bonus game. It's not friendly, obviously, but it's almost like a game. The league will be the priority for Dean. He'll want to get us up that table, and that's, I can imagine, before I even go to the managers' conference, listen to the press conference tonight, that will be his. He'll want to do well in the league. So it's an opportunity to play some of perhaps those fringe players, some of the youth players, see what he's actually got, assess his squad fully going into a full week in the job in the next game.
Yeah, we'll just zoom through a couple more comments before we head off. In terms of Tardoud says Dean Keats has maybe returned a lot better manager. I think we covered that really. I really do feel that he will have learned from some of his mistakes. And
in life, in any situation, the harder you fall, you've got to pick yourself up and you learn from your mistakes and you move on, don't you? So, regardless of what profession you're in, that's what you've got to do. You've got to pick yourself up. Look at what you did wrong, perhaps see what you did right, and move on from that.
Nice.
Cheers. It's been a long night.
Believe and trust Keats to get us mid-table and go again next season for promotion. Joe Gibbons asking who is Keats' backroom staff. So he's assisted by Andy Davis. Carl Darlington's still with us as well. Nick Barnett is part of the fitness coach. Phil Davis, physio.
Michael
Oakes, goalkeeper coach, and Kyle Crutchley is the first team analyst as well.
Yeah.
Al's the kid
man.
Yeah. And there was one that called me. Oswald couldn't finish his dinner. For me, he can, for a start. He can score goals, but he offers more than that.
Yeah. Oswald came with a big scoring reputation in National League North, didn't he? Had his moves at Morecambe. Didn't quite work out in terms of goals there. Has come here, wasn't quite fit. Yes, he hasn't scored the goals that fans perhaps wanted, but his overall play has brought people into it. I think he'll benefit from having a full-time striker partner. Him and Oswald, I think, Oswald and Hooper will be a good foil for each other. And like you said, he does more all around the pitch. I think he's benefited from starting the last few games, and you're seeing an improved Oswald through those games because he's got confidence and he's having a run of, getting his 90 minutes and working through that. So I'm hoping the goals will come. I certainly do think he's a finisher. I don't think he can't finish, but always played the style that suits him. If you look back when he was at Stockport, he thrived on crosses, and we're not a team that gets to the byline and delivers crosses very often.
Well, that does, I think, for the evening at the Racecourse Ground. It's finished Wrexham 1, Harrogate Town 1. Wrexham take a point from tonight's game so easily. Could have hit all three. But join us on Saturday. UEFA Cup action. Caramel wafers aplenty. Like I say, 1-1 here. We've been James Harrison and Ollie Williams. Join us on Saturday. I totally forgot that.
Yeah, I
do that.
Fuck you, yes. That is good. That's right. What? Is that it? Put it down there, mate.